I'm afraid we are just, like, we haven't been able to control that temperature ever since we started having issues with liquids in the base. But let's have a look at the fluid tanks. I mean, are these starting to fill at all? Not really. I think we're using up a lot more than we need to. I think at this stage... I'm gonna snip this pipe. We're gonna reduce the amount of bristle blossoms that we're running with, and see if that can help on some level get a little bit more. Because we've got loads of water. It's just a matter of getting the water up at this point. Oh, actually, that being said, maybe I should just build a second pump. Still, I'd actually like to see how our voles are taking care of us for now. Right. What did I make this out of? It doesn't really matter. We'll make it out of gold amalgam because this is actually quite hot down here. Just so I can still control them. We're going to make that a fairly high priority down there. But right now, everything is moving a bit slow. I've made many of what I would definitely call mistakes in setting up this colony, but I've learned a lot as well. So I'm actually really pleased with that. But as much as it's like, no, I'm not starting again. When Belai was saying, you know, it'd be faster if you started again. It would be. It absolutely would be faster if I started again. I'm not going to. Because I don't know. Sometimes it's actually more. It feels like more of achievement if you manage to right a sinking ship than if the ship just never sank to begin with. That you never ran it aground. Pips getting stuck used to be a thing. I'll go and check in every now and then. No, it's definitely planted it. There we go. Next one down. Body temperature is too high, but that's a shame. Yeah, it's really hot in here, actually. How hot is the temperature going through here? Way too hot. I mean, I do not want to set up anything particular running there. Right now, what I really want to do is just get oil running again. I mean, on the plus side, we are pushing a decent amount of liquid in there. If we can get that liquid moving a little bit more aggressively down the bottom, then it would help out a lot. And when we have power to run this, then it's fine, but it does back up a fair bit as well. Power is really the crowning issue that we're facing. Now, when we set up the steam engines, we're going to have to decide how we're going to cool that. Because although I did say that it would be free, those steam engines will eventually get hot. So we'll need a way of cooling those down. Now, of course, one way is to use the water that they output. It's 95-degree water, and as long as it can keep the engines themselves below 100 degrees, then that's fine. That might be something we can do. I could fill the room with hydrogen, specifically, to maximize the temperature shift. I could also sacrifice one of the steam engines in exchange for enough room to plant a couple of wheezeworts. Actually, you know what? I wouldn't even need to do that. I wouldn't need to sacrifice that. They don't need to be in the same room as the generators. Let me quickly demonstrate what I mean. Let's say, you know, we'll just mock it up. We've got our generators down here, and they're all packed together. I swear. So our generators are all packed together, all 4 of them. We've got no real room to put anything between them. Well, what we could do is have airflow tiles above. So this would still be classed as a room alongside the power control, whatever. You know, so this is a room of acceptable size, what have you. I could have a couple of regular tiles. In fact, if I plan this out, I could even do that here. Use a pip to plant some wheezeworts. We'd only need it as tall as the wheezeworts needed to be. So that will annoy me. So it would have to be this big. Look, at least I understand my own weaknesses. And then the pipes with the water, like, well, I mean, if this is all just full of hydrogen, the hydrogen can move freely between the airflow tiles. And natural wheezeworts don't need to be... Oh, well, I could use an aquatuner, but that's going to require power. But what I'm saying here is that as long as we're using the heat from the water, we only need to keep them below 100 degrees. That's all we need to do. If we use wheezeworts, and I could fit more than this in there, with pips, I could have them every other tile. Then this would cool down the hydrogen in the room, and we'd have the water move up, so it would exchange that heat before flowing back down and then out. So it would move a lot of that temperature around. It would balance the temperature in the room. And as a result, wouldn't need to actively cool the steam turbines. The room could effectively just be enclosed. We would want access, because we want to be able to feed in some refined metals every now and then to tune them up. Because 1.2K is much better than 800. Yeah, I think that might actually be a really good idea. I think that might be a really, really, really good idea. And as long as it is a natural tile, it's fine. So, we probably want something like... I mean, this is not going to allow particularly good airflow at all, but it is what it is. We could definitely do that. I'll keep this layer. Or maybe I'll use this layer, actually, because it'll be a little bit nicer. But how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that gives us our room. These natural tiles will be able to support the wheezeworts. So we just need a container on here to have pips just plant the wheezeworts up there. Then we never need to fertilize them. And we have our own cooling solution. I think that could honestly work. Only half of these are made out of aluminium and the other half are made out of iron ore, and that will drive me slowly mad. Not even that slowly, actually. I'll be using a conveyor rail with regolith to heat the steam, and then dumping the regolith out and feeding my shovels with it once the regolith has deposited all of the useful heat that it can into the steam. This is going to be an interesting build. This is going to be a really interesting build. Get rid of that so I can get down there a bit easier. I'm really looking forward to this, actually. We would need 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's lay out 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be the level below it. And that would be all my steam engines, and then I don't know. Let's make the steam chamber that big down below. We don't want it to be too large, but we definitely want it large enough. GB, power is on and off. When we've got a decent... What? Are you sleeping there? Why? You've got a bed. Go back to your bed. You silly, silly dupe. But we have got power here and there. It's just not very much. And one of the problems was that I didn't realize that we were running out of water as aggressively as we were. Well, that has been a big issue. Now this is the big issue because the liquid filter doesn't have enough power to operate. So it doesn't. Which is rather useless. I am going to bypass that. We're going to make this a 9, and I'm going to just plug that into the mains. I think that's going to be more important. Because we do have some power on the main grid. It's just spreading it out then between all of the transformers. Some of them don't get preference. So if we can remove that uncertainty of when this will get power and when it won't, that will be a massive help. But the bed is so far. Yeah, pretty much. Right, next one. Deconstruct that, please. Let our pip plant the next in line. There we go. This should start getting water going for us. It'll take a bit of time, but it will hopefully start to sort things out for us. There we go. Once that backs up, we'll start getting petrol again, which is... I'm so frustrated that I didn't realize that that was the part of the problem. That is so incredibly annoying. How is this area going? We got much of the coal yet? And there's a lot of coal down here for us to get. Plus, I need to find out what that geyser is as well. Where's that one? Yep. But now that we've got a new potential solution, I'm disinclined. You know what? Can you stop bringing critter eggs over here? Well, you know what? I'm going to pop this on a 2 because it'll still go here over most of the other places because all of these are a priority 1, my mass storage. And everything else has a higher priority, so if it needs it, it gets it. Okay, at this stage, I'm going to start prioritizing certain parts of the dig over others to get everything ready. If this works, I'm going to be so frustrated that I didn't consider it first. Because I'm well aware of using regolith, or rather the idea of using a hot thing into water in order to encourage it to become steam. Well aware of that. I've even mentioned it a few times, so this will frustrate me. But if we can fix the power problem... Oh, Paku. If only I had somewhere to put you. If this can fix the problem by the end of the stream, I will accept that. It will be accepted. Also, I need to check on Plane Seeker. Yep, I want to get you some super hard digging. There you go. Enjoy your new abilities once, you know, you get back. We've got so much meat in there. I should probably dig a bit more regolith, actually. Oh, I do have Shuffle's eggs set up for that. Oops. I should probably not have eaten the last batch of Shuffle eggs then. Right. Little by little, we're getting this place sorted. I think it'll actually be really, really cool if we end up with a completely passive power generator. That being said, we will still have to input power in order to get the items on the conveyor rail. That's the trick. That's the trick. We will still need power in that room because there's a bunch of stuff that the conveyor rail operates with. Do we have them all? I need the solid... Well, do I need the solid filter? Yeah, I absolutely need that item. Damn. Okay. Well, this is now a high priority. Oh, my lord, that's going to take a while as well. These are now high priority jobs. I'm not going to put on 1. 8 is like my life support priority. But I want those done. So, Shally, get to work. How's it going? You know what? The vast majority of the water that's going into this system won't actually be that germy. Because it's spent so long waiting to get there. That being said, some of this water is coming from polluted ice, so... No, it's actually 0 germs. Most of this water coming up here is 0 germs on it. So it'll just go straight into the system. The way the system works is it will fill the tank before it starts checking for germs. But once it's full, it'll just start outputting it. But we are now filling the tanks up again. Eventually that one will get full, and once that happens, this will all start backing up, and we'll see liquid going back down to our oil reservoirs. I can't believe that was such a dumb problem. Ugh, I'm a derp. Such an epic derp. Sometimes it's too easy to imagine the problem's more complicated than it is, and so you don't see the simple solutions. An aquatuner for cooling steam turbines with water as coolant will only run 0.7% of the time per turbine, so it's not really that much power. Macilius. The aquatuner would absolutely be easier to set up. There's no argument there. Not at all. But the idea of it requiring less maintenance, I mean, it's a zero-sum equation really with that one, because if the initial setup is harder to get Wheezeworts planted by pips on natural tiles, but once they're planted, they will never need any other maintenance beyond that point. That part of the room can be completely sealed off. You'll never have to go in there again. So equally, it's going to require no maintenance. You know, both of them will require 0. Just in case you thought I was intending to like replace these with farm plot tiles or anything like that, that is absolutely not the case. That's why I've specifically built it on this layer, is so that I can have, like, you know, kind of dirt-looking stuff for it to build. I know this is sandstone, but I wanted a natural tile that wasn't rock or abyssalite, because I don't know, I've got a weird thing with that. It looks weird when you're planting stuff into rock. Now that we've got that done, though, have we managed to... I feel bad about the shovels, so let's give this a bit of a high priority. Let's get out there. Get all of that in, if we can. It's super easy to dig, so it shouldn't take us too long. Also, on that note, let's grab that bit. We're okay over here, I would say. Get that bit out of the way as well. We still haven't dug that away. No, I'm not going to be providing any phosphorus. That's what I was saying, Mycelius. They'll be naturally planted. So the pips will plant them. I'll just ensure that there are Weezewort seeds and control how they plant like, you know, they'll start from the right and plant along to the left. It'll take a bit more time, but as a consequence, it'll need no fertilization. So, though, you know, again, as a consequence, it'll be 1/4 as efficient as a domesticated Weezewort. But the idea is that the system would be passive. That's why there'll be so many of them in there. Is we'll kind of do quantity over quality, a kind of solution there. So hopefully that will clear that one up. If I place these as planter tiles, then even if a pip planted it there, even though I hadn't planted it, it would still count as domesticated. So that's why I would be avoiding that. Though honestly, if you've got a Draco farm, especially if you've got a Draco farm that's being fed off balm lilies, you are never going to run out of phosphorite. You'll never run out of it. You can have as many Weezewort as you can get your hands on, and you'll be solid. What is that? Glass. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Maybe I should cancel the dig orders while there's an actual storm out there. That might be an idea. Can I get that swept? Same with this one. Really like it if you guys would feed the voles for a bit. And the annoying thing is that we're not actually increasing calories available via barbecue. They don't seem to be cooking it, which is a bit annoying, but... Oh, you better not be... Ah, poop. You are, aren't you? Yes, yes you are. No. I realize all too late. All too late. So they're like the 3rd or 4th time that's happened as well. You'd think I'd have learned. You would be wrong. Learning is overrated. But yeah, you'll realistically speaking, if you've got a Draco ranch, especially if they're fed off balm lilies, because otherwise you're going to need to feed them off something. You're going to have some level of fertilizer. Balm lilies are the only ones that don't. But if you have that, then you are never running out of... okay, I want this dug up. Well, actually, you know what? We don't need it. We are in fact feeding them plenty. But you're never going to run out of phosphorite. It'll never happen. So there's really no reason to worry about it. In fact, we don't really need this there. Because we are going to be completely digging across there. Oh, back up. There we go. We'll get this side dug out as well. Honestly, at this point, I can just happily dig out everything. They'll build scaffolding as they go. They shouldn't be able to get themselves locked in. That being said, they are dupes, so maybe I should consider adding something on that side as well. But that'll be enough to get the main room set up. How many more cycles until this kicks in again? Another 10 cycles and we'll have natural gas again. So that isn't so bad. Yeah, I was considering using a delivery system for the meat to the kitchen. The reason why I haven't done that is because I don't want to invest in the amount of resources and power use to use conveyance, even if I had it dropped down here and then just had another auto sweeper drop it down there and so on and so forth. It would constantly end up in somewhere that was oxygenated. Where it currently is, it's completely sterile. It'll stay there forever. Completely fine. It isn't a vacuum. It's got a very trace amount of CO2 in there. And so it can just accumulate. It's not like the shovels are going to use it, so... going to eat it. Okay. Now, little by little, we will expand this out. And there's the gravitas facility over there. Oh. There we go. Perfect. Now they can go back to the ribbons. Because I'd actually like to get that if I can. Now, with that done, we are going to have the ability to... The main one for me is the conveyor rail thermal sensor. That was the important one. I need to be able to tell what temperature it is. The conveyor shut off and the conveyor rail thermal sensor are the ones I need. With those, I'll be able to keep the regolith in the steam room until the regolith is cooled below the sort of main temperature I want the room to be at. And then I can dump it out. Generally speaking, the regolith is coming in hotter than 200. So I can keep it in there until it's cooler than 200. And then just dump it out. That way I should be able to maintain the efficiency of the turbines at the maximum. Hey, Mav, how you doing, mate? The dupes are into space, but not into deep space. The dupes are into vacuum of space and occasionally smacked in the face by meteors into space. I'm very haphazardly having them mine out regolith here and there, but not really giving them much of a focus on it, honestly. They don't really need it that much. Just enough to keep the shovels occasionally not starving. That will annoy me, though, that the ladder's broken. But I'm just going to have to accept it for now. I'm going to prioritize one layer at a time as I go. And as we get down to the bottom, then we'll switch it up and start using the actual wall tiles and insulation, etc., etc. Close enough. Poland Ball would be proud of how close to space the dupes are. Good old Poland Ball. Right, let's have a look at water. How are we doing? Still taking us a while to fill it up. It's getting there. Okay. At this point, I am completely okay. No, go away. I'm completely okay with you disabling these buildings. You don't need them active until I actually need them again. So let's shut those down. Getting some more liquid delivered. That'll be almost a full tank's worth getting in there. Or I would have thought it would have been. Actually, what frequency does this use? Yeah, 90% of the tank gets filled before it starts emptying it out. Wow, they still haven't cut that off yet. We're not even making use of most of these bristle blossoms. That's the stupid thing. Yeah, just strip that down. We don't need this. This is more than enough for us. We are... That much water being used is getting in the way of us actually having petroleum to power everything. What is there? Nothing. Damage overheated. Liquid. Oh. Oh. What is the temperature of this water coming up? Ah, poop. Oh, crap. Okay, deconstruct this. We'll build it out of gold amalgam. We don't need to build it out of steel, because the water going through... It's water and polluted water, neither of which can be high enough in temperature without being steam for that to cause me an issue. How did water get in there, though? Ice. I keep accepting ice and then forgetting to prioritize sweeping it up. My bad. Alright, liquid filter. Let's make this one out of gold amalgam. We do need that as a massive priority. Please and thank you. Right, but since they can get soggy feet in the base, let's get that sorted. Unselect the dig order on the... Oh, thank you very much. Oh my lord, I would have been so annoyed with myself. Thank you, mate. You saved me from a level of derpitude that really only comes when I am still up at 9:24 in the morning after starting streaming.